First, let's talk about locations and buffs. Your kingdom map has been split into 6 sanctuary zones. Each sanctuary has 3 buildings: a mighty city, a fortified city, and a plebeian city. Each of the mighty and fortified cities have buffs attached to them that will affect the occupying alliance until the next city siege event. Plebeian cities provide no buffs, but can still be used to gain points during the event. Now, you can use your kingdom map to find these cities and manually check everything, but I've created a little map here that kind of puts everything together so you can easily see where the cities are and the lasting buffs that it will provide. It is quite detailed and probably hard to read here, so I will provide a link below to the zoomable image. Now, choosing which cities to occupy based on these buffs will yield the greatest result for your alliance. However, which sanctuary your alliance territory is in should also be a factor when choosing cities to occupy, for reasons I'll get into later when we talk about what happens after the event has ended. All buffs here, once the city is occupied and the event has ended, will affect all alliance members inside your home kingdom until the next city siege event. However, these buffs do not apply when visiting an enemy kingdom during KVK, so be aware of that. To gain these buffs, your alliance has to win the occupancy of a city. So let's go over how to do that. At the start of a city siege event, the cities across the map will drop their shields, revealing a litany of NPC troops and city defense similar to castle defenses. Now, working together or solo, an alliance needs to continuously attack the city to kill all the NPCs and bring the wall defense down to 0, at which point you can dispatch troops to the city and begin the occupying process. Once you have dispatched or reinforced a city, if you click on the status button of the city, you'll see a counter of each of the alliances that at some point during the event have had troops reinforcing the city, as well as the total time they were housed on that city. If you see the occupation duration counter going up, that means there is currently at least 1 troop of that alliance reinforcing the city. If none of the clocks are moving, then the city is vacant and can be taken. Now, this timer is cumulative, so just because an alliance got kicked off a city does not mean that they lose their time on that city. And this is important to know because of how the occupancy is rewarded at the end of the event. Something you want to be aware of when attacking or occupying cities is that each alliance has a limited amount of cities they can occupy or even attack at one time. This count starts at 1 for each alliance but can be brought up to 6 by donating and researching the Tier 2 alliance tech called More Cities. Your maximum occupancy is very important to know if you're going to maximize your points and buffs. For the remainder of this video, I'm just going to use the 6 max as the example. If your alliance currently has troops reinforcing 6 cities, you cannot reinforce or even attack a 7th city without first abandoning one of the other ones. The redeeming factor of this restriction is that the leader of an alliance can disband a city that is currently being reinforced by alliance members. So if you're maxed out, your leader can kick people out of a city to free up the queue.